with new technology. Here's what Uber is all about.
Need a car? There's an app for that. From Vancouver to New York to Paris, Uber is your local chauffeur wherever you need it within minutes. Uber uses a city's income data and its taxi and town car fees to drive its fares lower and create steeper competition. Just ask Washington, D.C., which recently waged a price war.
That's going to be very helpful.
Backed by the likes of Amazon's Jeff Bezos and Goldman Sachs, Uber is growing an average 26% each month, turning a profit in most of its 13 cities where it competes for riders, not drivers. It's a boon to small business like limo companies that lease cars to the service and potentially to Big Auto as it seeks partnerships. Just not an IPO for now.
That was our Kayla Tausche reporting. Joining us right now is Travis Kalanick. He is the CEO of Uber. And Travis, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. It's good to be here.
We have someone who is a user of Uber on our set, Adam Parker, who's a huge fan. Also, Andrew Ross Sorkin was showing me the application yesterday, and I have to admit, it looks pretty amazing. I've heard that wait times are incredibly short. You can get a cab in 2 to 5 minutes or a car service to pick you up. What made you come up with this idea originally?
Look, I live in San Francisco, and it's really hard to get a ride. So my co-founder and I, we just wanted to push a button and get a ride, and we wanted it to be a classy ride.
And from what I've heard, when you say push a button, it really means that you push a button, it sends the car service everything, including your credit card information, so you don't even have to bother with any of that. You don't have to tell them where they're going. They show up immediately. How did you actually put all that information together, though? Is this an easy task, or is this something that took quite a bit of work?
Well, there's a decent amount of work, and in every city we roll out, there's sort of an operational component in that city. We work with limo companies who then have drivers. Sometimes the limo companies have 1 or 2 drivers, but we give them iPhones. They're running the driver app, and of course, consumers, they're either using their iPhone, their Android, or BlackBerry device, and they can connect. They connect to the service by, again, just pushing that button. We have credit card on file, so the door's open for them. They get in the car. They can see the car coming to them on the map. And they get on their way, and when they're at their destination, just walk out. No vouchers, no tip. It's all included. No cash changing hands. So our motto is everyone's private driver, and we try to deliver on that experience.
I would guess that one of the places you could run into problems is with pushback from the cab companies who probably think this is cutting into their livelihood. I know that was a problem in Washington, D.C., and that elected officials there were on the verge of putting up some pretty stiff penalties for your company in particular until your users flooded them with calls and letters. I guess that speaks to exactly how much people actually really like this application.
Well, look, in every other industry out there, competition is a good thing. And in our world, look, we're providing, convenient, classy ride. And I think what some of the folks in D.C. were trying to do on the government side was they were trying to say that, Uber can offer its classy service, but it can't offer it at the best price. And that kind of protectionism just stifles innovation.
Travis, I'm sorry. How do you know what you're paying?
So we have rates on the site that basically say what the sort of upfront cost is, what we call the base fare, and what the calculations are for time and distance.
Right.
You also can reach out to any number of our customer support folks, which are very proactive on Twitter, on email, etc., and ask them for fare estimates. Ultimately, we're just putting fare estimates in the app just to make it easy for consumers.
So, I'm not going to get hosed, I guess, when your guy pulls up and says it's take me to my destination, it's $40.
Oh, there's no negotiation. What happens is you just get in the car.
Right.
You get to your destination. You get an email receipt that shows the exact route that was taken by the car, as well as how much time and how much distance. Mm-hmm. If for any reason you feel like the driver was taking you for a loop or something like that, you can reach out to us and we handle that.
And how about security, Travis? How do we know that this is some sort of authorized driver or not some crazy guy coming to get?
Well, the first thing is that before they're able to connect to our system, we make sure that they're licensed, they're insured, that they follow all the regulatory regimes that might exist in their city or state. We do a professional assessment, also make sure that they know the city. But following that, every ride that's taken, the passenger rates the driver, right? And those ratings become sort of a litmus test of how well the service is being delivered.
While taking you for a loop, that term, is that what that's from?
I have no idea. I literally
Think about it, though.
Right
I mean, you can get taken for a loop a lot of different places, but if you get into a place and someone takes you for a big loop around the city.
Well, they also say take for a ride. You've been taken for a ride.
Taken for a ride. Same thing, though. Riding all around, here's the Golden Gate Bridge, here's the...
Or somebody on here to...
Yeah, we did.
Ride would be like sort of 30s gangster talk, take it.
Yeah, that's right. That is an amazing...
It is, but Travis, we should point out, this is not your first rodeo either. Before Uber, you founded Red Swoosh, which you sold to Akamai, and you also had a company that was named Scour. I guess it was a P2P search engine. So at this point, you're also an angel investor. You're putting money in a lot of other things. Can you tell us about what else you see that might be up and coming right now in Silicon Valley?
Well, look, I did a bunch of angel investing between selling my last company and starting Uber. But when I'm all in, I'm all in. So I'm not really doing a lot of angel investing right now. In fact, I'm doing none. The minute I went into Uber, the minute we started doing it, I basically stopped angel investing. There's a lot of great stuff out there, but I just get all, just sort of all consumed.
Well, it looks like you're picking up cities pretty rapidly. At this point, how many cities are you in?
We're in 13 cities, and we are picking up pretty rapidly. We expect in the next 6 months to be another 12. That puts us at 25, and dozens more next year. So it's expanding pretty rapidly, and that's what happens when we just did San Francisco for a year, and then that obviously went well. We went to New York, and that started taking off, and we've done 11 cities since then, and every city we've done after.
This is huge. I mean, what did you just do to the value of a medallion in New York City?
Well, look, New York City hasn't substantially changed the number of medallions since the mid to late 40s, and we're talking about the 1940s. So the sort of constraint on supply is so great that it's not clear that we're affecting the number of passengers that they can get right now, because there's so many folks that are underserved.
Wow, so it's in London.
We're in London. We launched in London 3 weeks ago.
I just can't believe it's going to work in all those European cities, though, Travis. It's just too screwed up over there.
You know what? This is what people told me. I had a board member to tell me.
He said screwed up.
They said, hey, if you go to Paris, you got to be careful because it's full of Parisians.
But for the record, the guest told that joke. We did not. Okay.
Paris is, in terms of transportation, San Francisco's sister city. It's very hard to get a ride in Paris, and so we wanted to go there. We went there, and the numbers are looking phenomenal.
Apparently, I'm being told that you're in the early stages of talking to auto companies about partnerships. What kind of partnerships?
Well, when you're growing as fast as we are, you're talking about putting thousands of cars, or really tens of thousands of cars on the road in a very short period of time. And we need to make sure our limo partners and essentially their drivers are able to put cars on the road, invest in cars in a streamlined fashion. Because if they don't, our demand keeps going up, but it starts outstripping supply. That means you can't get a ride when you want it. It means that ETAs, or what we call pickup times, basically start going up because there's not enough cars out there. So we need to constantly make sure that to streamline our supply chain, which is essentially cars on the road. Otherwise, the service doesn't work.
Mexico City, Travis, no way.
Mexico City,
no way.
There's 30 million people in Mexico City.
So yes, you'll try it?
Absolutely. I would say we're going to be in Mexico City in 2013 for sure.
Wow. Hey, Travis, the next time you're in New York, will you come visit us on set?
Oh, absolutely.
We'll send a car.
Transportation's on me. I got it covered.
Probably a half hour late.
Travis, thank you very much for joining us today.
We're a little interested in this story here on set. Can I just
for a bunch of Luddites, we're kind of into it.
Can I use the company card instead of the company?
No.
Why? A little competition is good for everybody with CNBC?
You're not allowed to, yeah.
I'll tell Hoffman we're saving money.
You can have somebody else order for you, and it just goes to their credit card.
Nice.
So that should be
Good idea. Good idea, Adam. Again, our thanks to